Coach, thanks for joining us on the call today. If you would take a minute to tie up the win at Cincinnati, maybe a word or two about Tank's performance, and then what you expect to see as you return home to face Houston this Saturday, please.
Sure. Obviously, we're coming off a good victory for us at Cincinnati. I thought as a team, it was a pretty darn good effort in all three phases. Obviously, Tank Jakes is receiving some recognition for his play, and he continues to be a heady football player that finds his way around the football on a consistent basis. We have a tremendous challenge ahead of us. We've got Houston coming in here this week. They've got a couple extra days. They played last Thursday, so they're playing great defense and changing things up a little bit, I guess, offensively. So it'll be an incredible challenge for us.
Take questions for Coach Fuente, please. *1 on your telephone to join the queue, then the operator will introduce you.
Over to Rob Fisher with Sport 56 Memphis.
Coach, you talk about the effort and being pleased with the effort on all sides. How much were you pleased with seeing that sort of effort coming off that non-conference schedule, coming off a very difficult game in Oxford last week, and to be able to put it behind them and move forward?
Well, I think our kids are anxious to play in the league. You know, I think we're anxious to get to league play. When you play the type of people that we played in our non-conference, two teams that at the time were in the top 10, UCLA and Ole Miss. I think those games helped us or will help us down the road, playing that kind of competition. But it was easy, I thought, for our kids to turn the page and move forward into conference. I think they've been anxious to start conference play for some time and kind of see how it goes.
You've been hearing it from the local media and from fans, even in defeat in those non-conference games, about the excitement around this team and watching this team and what people are starting to think you're capable of doing with the guys in the locker room, on the practice field. What do you feel like on a week-to-week basis they feel like they're capable of doing?
Well, the key there is a week-to-week basis, is we've got to stay focused on the task at hand, do everything we can to block out all of the other things that go along with this. And, and it's really no different message than when we were struggling. It's the same thing, is you've got to block that stuff out and continue to work to get better every single week. And, I told our kids before the season started, there was two things I knew for certain about this squad. Is one, I knew for certain we would have success, and the other thing was I knew for certain that we'd face adversity. And how we handled both of those two situations would determine kind of our long-term fate. We have an incredible challenge. When you look at our first 6 ball games, you've got UCLA and Ole Miss and Cincinnati and Houston in those first 6. I mean, that is a tough road. So there's going to be ups and downs, and you've got to kind of stay the course.
Thank you, Coach.
You bet.
We'll go to Brian Moss with TigerSportsReport.com.
Hey, Coach. How do you think your offense is? I know you guys wanted to play faster, this year, and for the first, 4 or 5 games, it seems like you guys are doing well at that. How would you assess the pace of the offense so far?
Well, that's a good question. We're nowhere near what some other people across the country are doing. I mean, I watch some of these people; it's just amazing. But I don't know that that's the best fit for us right now either. I think we have to continue to emphasize that we can get much better at it. The couple times we had a chance to really go fast, the game was kind of out of reach, like last week. And, I wasn't real interested in doing that. I was interested in getting the game over with and getting ready for the next week. So, at times we've been good at it. It's a function of our efficiency. If we're efficient on first and second down, it's a lot easier to do. Obviously, when you watch the Ole Miss game, we didn't go fast very much because we weren't going forward very much. So, it's a work in progress, I guess is what I should say. We're not quite to the level that I'd like to be at, and I'm not sure we need to strive to get to the level that some people are at. I'm not sure that's the best fit for us.
And if you could talk about the play of your wide receivers, it seems like they're getting more consistent every week. What do you contribute that to?
Well, I think competition is the biggest thing. I think they've embraced. We've had several different guys start. We basically, the guys that practice the best play, and that's a weekly deal. So I think they've embraced the role of the fact that there are no superstars, in that group, and they're going to have to do it as a group. And I think Holman Wiggins deserves a tremendous amount of credit, our wide receiver coach, for getting them to buy into those things and getting them to work like that. And I think that's produced better play. We're still not as consistent or as good as I'd like us to be, but we've certainly made improvement. And I think it's because of competition, the continually striving to get better to earn playing time.
And Coach Odom's, his brother's on the Houston staff. Do you see any competition from between the brothers? Does he ever talk about I want to beat my brother or anything like that?
Well, I can answer that in two parts. One, it's not a large discussion point for us, but two, I know that's an extremely competitive family. So I can assure you those two. I don't imagine that they'll talk much this week, and they're pretty competitive, but we try not to make that a big issue for us.
Okay, good luck Saturday, man.
Thank you.
And any other questions for Coach Fuente, please? Coach, well, thank you for your time this week. Look forward to talking to you again next Monday.
You bet. Thank you.